There is absolutely no doubt in my mind, no doubt at all, that when the author of the Gospel of John, or authors of the Gospel of John, wrote that Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." I have no doubt that when they wrote that, they knew that the people hearing that, their first thought would be, Jesus is the only way. The only way. I have no doubt, because the authors of the Gospel of John, they were writing at a time later in the first century, a time where the fledgling church was struggling. The communities of faith needed to have it. They need to feel encouraged and supported in their belief that Jesus was the only way. So I have no doubt that they knew darn well that people were going to hear that as Jesus is the only way. This is not then. This is a different time. It's a different age. We are different. I think the author and the authors of the Gospel of John, well, there's no doubt in my mind that, well, they knew darn well that was going to be the first response. They knew there was more. They knew that there would be a time when what is true would be more important than just reinforcing the fledgling church. There'd be a time where people would hear that, would read that, and instead of reading, "The only way is Jesus," they would read, "Only that Jesus is the way." It's not semantics. It's something entirely different. Because I think what's true here is Jesus saying, what's the way? Well, the way, I am the way, which is true and life-giving. You've been living with me for a while, guys. You know the way. Remember Thomas, the one who doubted, supposedly? He's the one who then says in John 14, "Jesus, we don't know the way." Prompting the response, "Yes, you do. I am the way. I've been showing you this for quite some time now. I've been showing you the way, which is true and life-giving. And that way is love." Not long after, Jesus will also say, "Love one another as I have loved you." What if instead of hearing, "I am the only way," we heard, "I've been showing you the way. It's the way that's important, not me, this person or figure or name, but the way that I've been showing you, the love that I have been showing you." That's the important part. What if we heard that and then look at the rest of the Gospel of John. Look at all those other "I am" sayings. I am light, I am bread, I am the good shepherd, I am the true vine, which we heard today. I know. It's easy to not take those quite so literally. Jesus isn't a flashlight or a loaf of bread or literally a plant. Why take I am the way, the truth, and the life quite so literally? Why wouldn't we understand that as I'm the way? It's the way that's the important part. That's the important part. I'm showing you that. My life has shown you that you too are both divine and human, and you are full of love. You are love. And here's how you can live that with each other. And if you do, look at the relationships that I have built with people. Look at how I have helped to heal and restore people to wholeness. Look at those things and learn that the way is in you also. Live the way. I showed you the way. Then we might hear, I am the true vine. God is the vine grower. You are the branches. We might hear that a little differently. We might then perhaps not hear those who do not bear fruit will wither and die and be cut off. They'll be pruned and tossed into the fire, as a way of reminding us that there is one true vine, and those who do not bear fruit shall be excluded. In fact, not just excluded from the one true vine, but they'll be cast into the fire. So you better bear fruit. Why would we hear? Why would we think that the vine grower, if God would have only one vine in his garden? Why would we think that? Why wouldn't instead we think God would create and be part of continuing to create a garden full of wonders, full of vines, all of which are part of the same garden? Why wouldn't we, instead of thinking of how the vines, the pieces, the branches, those that don't bear fruit will be cut off and excluded, why instead wouldn't we think, but the whole point of pruning is to nurture and grow? I often remind Lori of that, because I'm not a gardener. I can't be trusted with gardening. Lori does the flowers and stuff. I'm not good at it. Stuff dies when I touch it. But I'm not good at that. But I mow the lawn, I shovel stuff, and I prune the bushes and the trees. And when I do that, quite often Lori looks at them and goes, "Oh no, you've killed them." And then they grow back even bushier and bigger. I'm talking to you, lilac bushes. Stop it. I have to keep cutting those things back, because they just grow bigger and bigger when you do. It's part of nurturing them. It's part of a healthy tree, a healthy vine. Why instead of hearing this story as exclusive and demanding that you bear fruit, instead we could hear it as we are all connected, and the health and wellness of each of us is important to the health and wellness of all. How shall we nurture and grow each other in order that the vine grow and be healthy? Paul said that about the body, right? We are one body, but we are different pieces and parts and things. The health of each part is critical to the body. We know that. If you're a gardener, you probably know that about gardening too. It's about the health and wellness of not just the one vine, but the whole garden. I believe that when Jesus talks about being the way, when Jesus talks about being love, when Jesus talks about being light and bread, food, the good shepherd, the true vine. Jesus is trying to remind us that it's love that is that true light and food and nurture and care. It's the loving one another that does that. We are connected. There's a word. In fact, newer translations of the Bible don't use this word anymore. They try and say it differently. Because when we say abide these days, usually what we mean is, I'll abide by your rules. Or, I can't abide that person. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Because yes, you can, because you already do. Because in the Bible, abide doesn't mean those things. Abide means to live with or to remain in, to be part of. Not even just part of, but intrinsically part of. The classic hymn, Abide With Me, which sadly we don't get to sing very much because it's an evening hymn, right? But think about why that might be such an important evening hymn. After your day, remember, you abide in God. You abide in love. You abide in the way. You abide with Jesus. Or however you know the way. That's the thing about this, right? Is that we think, we read that and we think, oh, Jesus is the only way, so all the other ways are wrong. But they're not. All of the ways that bring us to God are the way, because that way is love. Love is the thing that brings us closer to God. The love that is in us, the love that is God, the love that connects us. Those are the things that bring us closer to God. What doesn't do that? What drives us away from God? Well, that's what we call sin, right? Sin is the things, the behaviors that drive us away from God. To abide in God is to turn away from sin. We've heard that a lot too. Turn from sin, live, abide in love. That's how we do this. That's how we do this. We look at our community, whether it's our community of faith or our wider community, and we recognize that we all abide together. We do not exclude people because they look or sound different or think different. We don't exclude them. We embrace them. We try to understand. We reach out to those who are hurting and broken. And we say, you are part of us, and we are part of you. We abide together. Jesus is about showing us the way of love, which is living out what is already in us. Whatever form that might take, however difficult it might be for us to struggle with it. And here we have an image of Jesus reminding us that isn't just you or another person or that person or this person. It isn't that. It's a communal thing. We abide together. We bring the uniqueness that is us to that, and we build community with that. That's the richness and wonder of community and belonging, is that we abide. We abide in love. We abide in the way, which Jesus shows us For us, it is Jesus. For others, the way may take a different form. I do not for a moment think that Jesus saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life, was about, I am the only way. It's the way that's important. The love that I am, Jesus would say, that's important. And we live that love together. We abide in it.